He has no idea how lucky he is. He did well enough to become a breeder. On a breeder on this farm, you're taken care of very well.
Heather's been in an accident, and I got to go right now.
You okay?
Yes.
How you doing?
All right.
And I headed back to the farm to start cutting antlers on the whole group of yearling bucks. Well, Dr. Briggins and his guys from Advanced Deer Genetics are ready to go. We're going to try to collect semen for breeding purposes. Crusader is the largest typical 2-year-old in North America, rated at the National Antler Competition. We can't afford a single mistake on this deer.
This is Doug Roberts. He's raised some of the largest typical whitetails in North America. His farm produces the best hunting scents in the world. His life's quest is 200-inch typical whitetails. This is ConQuest 200. Like every morning on the farm, it's a quick prayer and then off to work.
Gotta go.
Well, made a decision this morning, we're going to go and we're going to cut antlers off all of the yearling bucks. So I told Nate, you know, let's get everything ready and I'll meet you over at the barn.
I leave the house, I'm heading to school, and bam, I get hit. It's my first car accident, and I kind of panic.
So we're getting ready to start our day, and Doug comes running up to the barn.
Okay, Nate, here's what's going on. Heather just got in a car accident. Yeah, so I'm heading there real quick. Change of plans. I just talked.
I quick head over there and tell Nate, hey, we're still going to do this, but Heather's been in an accident and I got to go right now.
I'll be back.
Well, I get to the scene of the accident, and Heather's, you know, it's her first major accident, so she's all kind of hysterical. And I calmed her down. I said, listen, are you okay?
It'll be okay. You okay?
Yes.
If
How you
you're
doing?
okay and the other people are okay, cars are fixable.
Well, congratulations.
She don't have no insurance,
Okay.
so she's gonna have to pay cash anyway.
Right.
To take care of today. Get it out
Okay.
the way.
Did you guys exchange names?
We had called the police, they had called the police, and no police kept showing up.
Pontiac.
And so we waited for a length of time and still no police. So I finally called, and then we found out that there was an issue at a school, and all of the police were called to the school. So they asked us to actually drive down to the police station to do the police report.
Well, exchange information, we'll go down and do our part then.
Back at the scent facility, Talon is preparing a new batch of Evercom that needs to be delivered by tomorrow afternoon. Each tray holds 800 Evercom sticks that will be hand-poured, inspected, and packaged for delivery.
By the time we get to the police station, Heather has settled down a little bit and was able to fill out the paperwork and tell the officer what happened and got all the process done, and we kind of left, and she was feeling a little better. Now she's late for school, so I said, hey, we got to get you to school. I got to get back to the farm. They're waiting to dart and cut antlers off these bucks. So I got her off and I headed back to the farm to start cutting antlers on the whole group of yearling bucks.
The process of cutting antlers on ConQuest Deer Farm only happens in the yearling pens. This is a procedure that allows Doug to record and document each buck's antlers with its ear tags that it received when it was a fawn. This also prevents the yearling bucks from fighting and killing each other while they go through the rutting stage here on the farm.
What I like to do when we dart the yearling bucks and de-antler them, we cut the antlers off, is we'll dart 5 or 6 bucks at one time. And then we will start picking them up and putting them on the stretcher and bringing them up to the barn where we have all of the medications, we have the saw, and I like to take a picture of each one of them showing the tag number, because then I can identify the set of antlers with the tag number, and then I can look at those pictures a year later and know the progression that that buck has made. We then simply take them off to the side, we reverse them and let them kind of wake up on their own. They stay right in that pen. And by the time we're all done, all of the bucks in that pen have gone through that process and wake up, and they all wake up headless, without their antlers on their head. And it's kind of interesting, they're depressed for a couple days. It's kind of like they got their manhood taken off. And then they start to work out of that, and then they get that attitude back, but they can't injure each other.
Coming up next, Doug Roberts selects 2 yearling bucks to be breeders on the farm. Doug Roberts has removed all the yearling buck's antlers. This process will ensure their safety since they'll be in the pen together for the remainder of the year. He'll also select out of this group the next breeder bucks, a buck he named Thor and a buck he named Triton. Thor is not balanced as the best typical frame for a 1-year-old, but he has the mass and above average tine length. And then there's Triton, a typical 7x6 mainframe which shows the potential of a 7x7.
That tine right there, I can show you on son of the gun. I mean, it just keeps following through over and over and over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's really a 6x6 with 2 extra kickers. I'm going to use him for breeding. Those are yearlings you look for right there.
With decent width and average tine length, Triton's pedigree is from a son of the gun daughter, and his father is Crusader, which was the largest 2-year-old in North America.
He has no idea how lucky he is. He did well enough to become a breeder. And a breeder on this farm, you're taken care of very well.
The new breeder bucks will soon find out how good they have it. As soon as they awake and find out they're the only buck in the pen, with 20 does. This is the way Doug strategically plans his doe pens with a breeder buck. The breeder is actually considered a backup buck, the one that does the natural breeding on the farm. This is to ensure that all the does will be bred, just in case the artificial insemination process doesn't work. Another way Doug can control breeding is through the collection of semen. On the list for this year's collection is a buck named Exeter and a buck named Crusader.
Well, Dr. Briggins and his guys from Advanced Deer Genetics are ready to go. So I'm getting the guys around. We're going to head out and we're actually going to dart Exeter to get him ready to collect semen.
I'd like them to come up the south fence line. And they're going to go over north, so we just get them in the corner.
We're already kind of at a disadvantage. We have rainy, nasty weather. So that's going to maybe slow things down. It's always difficult to dart in those conditions. But we're going to go out, we'll get a dart into him, and hopefully he'll go down right away and we can get him up into the facility and start the collection process.
We're about to dart 2 different breeder bucks right now. We'll have me and Nate in here. We try to move them really easily because the less stress, the better. They go down a lot easier when they're less stressed.
Go back out, go down this, both of you go down this fence, and then just bring them and just let them kind of filter right back. Exactly.
Between Talon and I, we have to be able to read each other, read the deer, put enough pressure on them to move them without them feeling that pressure. Otherwise, they just run chaotically throughout the pen. So our job is to kind of move them nice and slow, just nudge them a little bit, so the buck that Doug is trying to dart ends up in the best position possible for the cleanest shot.
Well, this buck is only a 3-year-old, but body weight wise, he's probably running 280, 290 pounds live weight. So he's a very thick, heavy body buck. And he's a big 7x6 typical that's gonna go just over 200 inches. I think he's gonna probably go 205 to 210. So It's a massive buck, not only body-wise, but antler-wise, and I want him completely to sleep because he'll be a hard buck to handle physically, to hold and keep him down. Well, today we're actually going to go out and dart the 2 biggest breeder bucks on the farm. We're going to try to collect semen and get them in the tank so we can use them over the years down the road for breeding purposes. It's the most nerve-wracking day on the farm for me of all year.
Keep them calm.
Just because we have the potential of killing that deer, and it's not a deer I want killed. And it's dangerous. I mean, there's so many things that can go wrong. The dart may not go off. The dart may hit the deer in the wrong place, and now you have a different type of an injury. The drug itself could react to the deer and could kill the deer. So there's a high tension whenever we have to dart a deer, and especially high when we have to dart one of our big breeder bucks, because those are what the farm is built on.
Double strength with the X on it, the bottle with the X on it. Okay, let's go back.
And I realize this isn't going to go well. He is not going to go down on this first dart. So I'm talking to Nate and Tal and saying, we got to bring him back around again. We're going to have to hit him with a second dart. Now we've got double the drug into his system. Bring him back around and he's kind of groggy. I have to make some adjustments. When we get the second dart into him, and this is a big bodied deer, a big physical buck. Not only is he big, he's going to be hard to handle. He's going to be hard to get up onto the four-wheeler and get him to the facility, but we've got to be quick and efficient with this. Guys from Advanced Deer Genetics are ready to go.
Yeah, not bad. Quite sick.
What's that?
It was quite sick.
Well, we ended up getting a wonderful collection of semen out of Exeter. He did a great job. We didn't have any problems, so it's kind of a relief to me. Now it's getting him all of his medications, we got his wormer, and getting back out into a new pen. We're actually going to rotate him, put him in with a new group of does that he can be with for this fall and coming into the following year.
Now it's off to Crusader's pen, a buck that's at the top of the list in Doug's breeding program. This 3-year-old buck failed to produce semen during the collection last year, so Doug is anticipating a different result.
We'll give them a little bit of time so they don't get real wound up. Crusader is the largest typical 2-year-old in North America, rated at the National Antler Competition. We can't afford a single mistake on this deer. If this goes wrong and I shoot Crusader in the wrong spot and kill him, we've lost all of his genetics.
Got him back off, come up around by Nate. They're running up to the front corner, so just get together and just come up real slow and gentle.
to remember, it's the largest 2-year-old typical in North America. I got a good shot on him, but until we get the semen out of him and in the tank and get it in the process, we're on high alert because there's so many things that could go wrong. Well, you know, the thing, and you guys know it, the thing we got to remember is largest 2-year-old typical in North America. I mean, you can't screw up, you can't get him huffing and puffing because then that causes a problem getting him down. Now we got a semen collection problem. If everything goes right with that first dart, it should go to sleep and lay down in 5 to 10 minutes. And then what we'll do is we'll actually sneak up downwind and we'll put a head cover over. Once his eyes are covered and it can't see, it seems to relax and go to sleep, even into a deeper sleep where hopefully it'll start snoring. All of this has to be done calmly and slowly, but quickly. And I know that's doesn't fit, but you go as fast as you can, acting like you're going slow, because we got to keep the stress levels down on that deer, get it in as quickly as we can so we can get the collection process of semen out of him before he starts urinating, because what the drug does is it stops the muscles from working. And so it starts urinating, and that would ruin all the semen that we're trying to collect.
With the deer down and the medicine in effect, Doug and the crew prepare to move Crusader. Back at the facility, the veterinarian awaits Crusader's arrival. This collection process has to move quickly to ensure Crusader's health, but also to secure his genetics for future years.
Anything can still go wrong at this point. So we've got to get him to the facility as fast as possible so we can start the collection process. That's where the anxiety and the nervousness, because I've had great bucks in this process drop over dead. The longer the deer is on the table, the higher chances he's going to start urinating, which will ruin all the semen. Again, you have to move as fast as possible, as slow as possible. In other words, keep things calm and under control. He should be ready and filled with semen, but there's no guarantees that you can actually get it out of him. One, he has to stay relaxed. We have to stimulate him. We have to stimulate his prostate gland is what we're doing, and that allows him to release what we call the loads of semen. Very good. Good boy. You're done. Well, it looks like we got a good collection out of him, so now my concern is to get him medicated, get all the vaccines done, the worming done, and get him back out in his pen and reverse him, get him back up on his feet to where his muscle systems and everything are working properly again. So now we got him in the tank. We're done with him. I'll get 100, 120 straws out of this quite easy, so I'm just tickled pink with that. One of these straws of semen can go from $1,000 to $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. This industry, I mean, it's nothing for a $10,000 straw of semen. And you look at the little straw of semen and you really have to wonder, my gosh, what's in there? But there's 40 to 50 million sperm cells in that straw of semen, and that's more than enough to breed 1 or 2 does.
The procedure has been a success. Crusader is now placed back in his pen and given the reversal drug.
Getting Crusader and Exeter, wow. They are definitely icons on this farm. It's almost like you get to meet that star that you've always admired, and you've watched the star grow into this amazing, amazing creature, and now you get their autograph and this lineage forever.
We end up getting a wonderful collection of semen out of Exeter. The problem again is we've double darted him, so it's going to be a little more difficult to get him to wake up. But we go out there, and sure enough, he's sound asleep. I mean, he's loving it. It's like he's in La La Land. But he kind of woke up and kind of realized, oh my goodness, where am I at? And oh, you're way too close. So he got up and he kind of staggered off, and he'll be fine.
Stay tuned for scenes of next week's episode.
she didn't jump a wall or anything and go in with the yearlings, did she?
Hey, Talon.
For more info and behind-the-scenes action, visit ConQuest200.com.
Get out.